Welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday today. It was a bad day in the markets, so we're going to take a look at what's going on with the S&P, Dow, NASDAQ really quick, along with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Miners were down for the most part except for two, which was surprising, but everybody else was down for the day. So we'll look at that. We got also two updates for Hive Blockchain and Digital for their January production. There are some improvements. We'll get into all those. And we also have a story from Digihost, which we'll get into really quick as well. And as always, you guys know the drill here. Not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. Don't fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted. And I'm invested in the following coins and companies for full disclosures. Everybody's aware of that. And let's get into the markets here. So S&P was down today 1.11% to 4,117. Dow Jones was down 0.061% to 33,949. And the NASDAQ was down 1.83% to 12,495. Now, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, Bitcoin was down also. It was down more. It recouped some of the losses on the day, but it was down 1.21%. It closed at 22,964. We had a low of 22,669. Excuse me. And we had a high of 23,451 on it. RSI has continued to come down here. We are now at 60 here on the RSI, which I think is good. I'm still thinking we may fall a little bit more, but I mean, the way that we've been coming down here on the RSI from a peak here of approximately 89, and we've continued to come down while the price has, for the most part, continued to go up in value, which is good. So we have battled with our resistance here. We haven't been able to cross above it and basically hold there. So we'll see if we can either battle this again in a little while, or if that doesn't happen, we might be coming down here, like I said yesterday, to 21,300 possibly. We'll see on the forward chart. Let's take a look at that. RSI is now at 46. Last time we were around here was not too long ago. It was back here, and then back here we were up higher in price. So we're still in no direction land as far as which way we want to go on it. 1 hour chart, let's see if we got any changes in it. We are at 47. Last time we were here was back on these. Let me see these little dips here. And price at that time was actually a little bit lower. So it was lower there. It was a little bit, yeah, it was still lower there as well. So it looks like on the 1 hour chart, it's starting to get above that price point there. So it's a little bit higher on the price while the RSI is about the same. So we may have a reversal happening here in the coming day or two, but we'll see. Okay, next is Ethereum. Let's take a look at Ethereum as well. Ethereum was down today approximately 1.23% down. It closed at 1,650. And we had a high of 1,699, a low of 1,630. It is now at 1,654. RSI is also at 61 here. And last time we were kind of at this part here, which was actually lower in price. So like yesterday, Ethereum is doing a little bit better than Bitcoin right now is. On the 4 hour chart, we're at 53, 52. So right around there, last time we were back here, price at that point was also lower. So on the 4 hour chart, it's looking better on Ethereum. And on the 1 hour chart, if we look at it, it's 48 right now. Last time we were back here was right around here as well. Price was lower at that time. So it is still looking a little bit better on Ethereum, but we'll see what happens there. Okay, next let's take a look at the miners here, see what's going on with them. And we'll get into the news. So Annie was down today 3.25% to 41 cents. Argo was down, wow, quite a bit, 19.85% to $2.18. Digital was down 8.78% to $1.35. Bitfarms was down 1.82% to $1.08. Cypher was down 1.47% to $1.68. CleanSpark was down 3.39% to $3.42. Cores was down 2.87% to 33 cents. Digihost was down up, so that's one of the ones that was up today, 1.34% to $1.51. DMG was down 1.01% to 24 cents. Greenwich was down 2.34% to $7.72. Sorry. Hive was down 0.83% to $3.57. HUT was down 0.92% to $2.15. Iris Energy was down 3.04% to $2.08. Marathon was down 4.08% to $6.81. Mawson was down 0.78% to 54 cents. Riot was down 1.21% to $6.52. Soluna was down 7.95% to 35 cents. And TerraWolf is the other one that was up today, was 1.5% up to 70 cents. So it wasn't a good day in the markets. And let's take a look at the network hash rate really quick, see where that's stacking up right now on Bitcoin. And it is coming back up here. This is on the 7-day average. It's back up to now 277 million. On the 1-day average, We did go up here a little bit here to 297 and came back down to 269 million. So we are still trending in the up direction. If we look far enough out, you can see this trend line just is going to continue going up here going forward. Not as fast as I think it has in the past. This past year was a lot of miners were getting installed. We still have a lot of miners that get installed, but I think it's going to be less than we had in prior years. So I'm expecting the network hash rate not to increase by 50%, but maybe closer to like 30, 35, maybe 40% at most in 2023. But we'll see where that comes in. Okay, so that's the markets there. Let's take a look at our first story here, which is on Digihost. So Digihost announced its completion of power plant acquisition. They've been talking about this for quite a while. They finally got it completed. So the company has completed the acquisition of a 60 megawatt power plant in North Tonawanda. Further to the company's initial news release on March 24th, 2021, the terms of the acquisition were amended to reflect an all-cash purchase price. No shares of the company were issued in connection with the acquisition. So that's really good there. No dilution. And as a result of the acquisition, our current operating capacity is close to 100 megawatts, representing approximately 2 exahash of computing power. The generator capacity will continue flexible operation to ensure that 24/7 dispatchable supply is made available to area residents, businesses, and industry to mitigate impacts of power interruptions in concert with directives of the New York Independent System Operator. So that's all good there. There's not much really else to talk about it, but it does give them more room for growth, which is good, which we want them to grow as they are one of the smaller miners that we do cover here. So I think this is absolutely going to be great for them. Now we just have to see how fast they can actually get this up and running and get their miners in place. So we'll see when that happens, and that's a good thing for them. Next, let's take a look at our next story, which is going to be on Hive here. So let's get into Hive and their production updates. They had a pretty good month here in January. So if we go in here, Hive Blockchain provides January 2023 production updates and Bitcoin HODL increase of 20% on year-over-year basis. So let's get into the important parts of it. There's a lot of fluff in what they provide a lot of times. So summary overview, Hive produced 260 Bitcoin in the month of January from ASIC and GPU mining operations. Now it was good there. Let me see here. What else do we have here? There it is. So they deployed over 6,700 new generation ASIC miners in its data centers, representing one of the largest upgrades in the company's history to improve our gross mining margins and fleet efficiency. So that's also good there. They also deployed over 3,200 of the Buzz miners in its facilities in Sweden and Canada. Those are the Intel ASIC miners. And fully deployed all of the 3,570 S19J Pro miners acquired in December 2022 into our New Brunswick and Lachute facilities. So that's actually really good. And that's really quick turnaround time. If they bought them in December, got them installed and running in January, that's great. That's really what we want to see from these companies. And as a result of in-house software improvements by Hive's technical team, we further increased our efficiency at our New Brunswick site by approximately 20% in average joules per terahash efficiency. So that's really good too. That makes it more efficient, more profitable is what I'm trying to say. Hive expects to receive an additional 645 Buzz miners in the next 2 months, representing a total production quantity of 6,300 Buzz miners powered by the Intel Blockscale ASICs for initial production run. So they're getting close to getting all those installed here. And let's scroll down here. We'll get into the actual numbers. So they were at 2.52 exahash of ASIC BTC hash rate at the end of the month. And they are at 2.68 if you include the GPU hash rate as well. Then their Bitcoin HODL position right now is at 2,430 Bitcoins, which is good. And there was something else. Here we go. So ATM equity program update. This is, I think, good as well. Effective as of the date hereof, the company has determined its at-the-market equity distribution agreement under which the company had the option to sell up to $100 million of common shares of the company at its discretion. So they got rid of that. They did sell some of it here. So the company did not offer any shares under the ATM equity program after November 30th. From inception of the ATM equity program to November 30th, the company issued 1,306,474 common shares for gross proceeds of only $3.9 million. So they didn't dilute as much as everybody was thinking. But the question now becomes, how are they going to continue their growth here with they're not using the ATM? Will they be actually selling the Bitcoin that they do mine from their operations to fund future growth? We'll see if that's the case, or if they're going to use some of their little HODL position that they do have to also grow that way. So we'll see, okay, on that one. So let's take a look at what I have for them as far as numbers in my spreadsheet, and then we'll get into Bit Digital as well. So Hive Blockchain, 84 million shares outstanding roughly. Market cap is about 300 million. Stock price is $3.57. Shares outstanding is calculated by taking the market cap, dividing it by $3.57. Current hash rate, that should be updated. Why isn't that updating? Because this, oh, for some reason I didn't update it over there, but it's 2.5 exahash. Is it 2.5? It is. It shouldn't be 2.5. It should be 2.3. Where is this one coming up? Always find issues. There's just so many numbers that I track that it's hard to sometimes get the exact numbers here. Okay, so that's coming in from December. December looks right. Let's go take a look. So December, make sure we're getting the right numbers. We're calculating all the numbers here. And let's take a look at January here. January is coming up at 2.523. What did they say that they were at 2.5, right? Let me see here. What did they say that they were at? 2.52. Okay, so we got that right. Then why is it not transferring over though? And that's the question that I have here. 2.523 for February, and it should be the same thing. Oh, I forgot to add the miners here. It looks like, yeah, forgot to add the miners. Down here, we have to do that. What do we add over here? We added these in here as well. So that's up there, and then we have to add these in here as well. There we go. Okay, that fixes it. So that's what our issue was. All right, going back up here. That looks more in line here. So 2.5 is where they are right now. Future hash rate is going to be 3.4. They are currently 73% operational. Future hash rate growth of about 36%. Their hash rate average per miner is about 94, which is actually improved a lot over the last couple months here. So that's good to see here. They were at like almost 89, 88, something like that, but they've definitely done a much better job getting in the newer miners in. Their BTC HODL position is 2,430. That's equivalent to about $56 million right now. It's about 18% of their market cap, and each share has about 67 cents of HODL position in it right now. Now, as far as their production is concerned, BTC, you can see here that at the end of August, they were doing really well, and that is mainly because they were also mining Ethereum, which was still mineable at that time. Ethereum went to proof of stake in September. You were seeing that, excuse me, that big drop there, which was only part of the month they were able to mine, almost half. And then after Ethereum went to proof of stake, their production went way down to 307 here in October. November was down to 264. December was their worst month of 213. And then they finally started to, it looks like, go back up in BTC mined to 260 in January, which was good. The efficiency also has been pretty steady here with them. It's been coming down a little bit here, but not much. We've also seen the network hash rate go up. That is accounting for the decrease in the efficiency. So their best month was in September, 150, and that is based on the fact that they were also mining Ethereum at that time, and then that got taken out, so that's having a little bit of a skewed number there. But going afterwards, it's 110, 105, 103, and 103, which is still really good, still top of the line here of most of the miners that we cover, right within the top 3 or 4. Okay, so that's looking good there. As far as their revenue for the month of January, it looks like they made about 5.2 million, which is a lot better than what they did in December with 3.6. Now, Bitcoin has gone up in price in January quite nicely. That's also helped them with this, but also having mined more Bitcoin helps them out tremendously here as well. Okay, it looks like they sold about 178 Bitcoin based on what their current HODL is and what they mined. And that was about for 3.6 million in revenue for selling the Bitcoin HODL position. In January, we had them mining pretty much for 31 days for all these miners here. And the ones that got added in here were the 104 terahash and 98 terahash that they purchased in December. That was the rest of those that got us to the 3,000, what was it? Was it these miners here? I believe it was, the combination of these guys here, December 9th and December, yeah, they bought a total of 3,570. So those got all installed now. Those were mining only for about 20 days. The rest of the miners were pretty much mining for 31 days based on the Bitcoin price, which is the average Bitcoin price in January. Got us to the 5.26 million, which is what we have here as well. So that worked out pretty good. And they did improve the revenue by about 45% from December. So they had 3.6 million in December, 5.26 in January. That's a 45% increase, which is really good as well for that one. Now, as far as institutions are concerned, institutions did decrease a little bit here to 97 from 99. Shares also went up, though, to 12.34 from 12.28. And percentage owned went up to 14.74 from 14.67. So that's good there. Analysts stayed pretty much the same. Well, they did stay the same. 1 for strong buy, 2 for buys. And then the price targets are $7 for the high, $5 for the average, and low is $2.89. So that's kind of where it's been a little bit. It went up a little bit here since January numbers, excuse me, when we did this back in January 9th. Okay, so with all that, this is kind of where I'm looking at them being right now. We are using the last quarter of December ending numbers in here, so that's included in the 3 quarters prior. So this one's still estimate. These two are actual numbers. We'll see how close we get to this number when they report, which I think they're going to probably report here in the next couple of weeks. And we're using the current quarter which is an estimate as well. We're kind of saying that they're going to stay where they are right now for February and March. If they continue to grow their hash rate, they'll probably get a little bit more. And if Bitcoin goes up in price, they're probably going to get a little bit more as well. So this is just an estimate right now. But based on all that, we have them at about $103 million estimated revenue right now for the 4 quarters. Excuse me. If we use the 50% net income, we're looking at $9.24 for the stock price, potentially with a PE of 15. Bitcoin starts really going up higher. It could definitely look a lot higher. And if we're using 75% net income, then we're looking at a PE of 15 of $13.86. So they are still way undervalued, in my opinion, from where they should be, along with a lot of the other miners as well. So end of the line here is they've done a great job here in January, which is nice to see. They have been struggling ever since September to get things under control. It looks like with Ethereum stopping, the mining of Ethereum stopping, that put a big crunch on them. And it looks like they're doing all the right things to get back on track and potentially grow even more into this year. We'll see if they pick up some more miners. I mean, it was nice to see them pick up miners in December pretty cheaply. So we'll see if that can happen again going forward, which would be nice to see. But they'll either have to get, let's take a look at it. They would probably have to get rid of some of these older miners here, which I'm thinking would be the 74 terahash miners here, which they already got rid of here a little bit. Some of the 79 miners as well. And what else do we have here that could possibly get rid of would be maybe these 87 terahash miners. I mean, they're still going to be profitable, but not as much. So they still have some room to possibly swap out miners for newer miners if they wanted to do that. Okay, so that is it for Hive. Let me know what you guys think of them. If you're invested in them, if you're looking to invest in them, I'm invested in them. I've been investing in them since like 2017, 2018, from the last bear market that we were in. I didn't sell at the peak of this bull market that we were in 2021 because I thought we were going to continue going up. Lesson learned. So I'm holding for this bull run. I'll probably sell out of them when we look close to getting to the peak. And then, we'll rinse and repeat. We'll do the same thing. We'll get into the miners again when things are going down south, and we'll dollar cost average in, and we'll do this again. So this is kind of my strategy going forward. So that is it. Otherwise, great job by the Hive team getting all of these miners installed. We want to see this continued going forward. Okay? All right, so next story is going to be on BitDigital. So we'll take a look at BitDigital numbers. They're pretty easy to go through, pretty quick. They don't provide a lot of fluff. So we'll just go through it here really quick. So BitDigital announced a monthly production update for January 2023. Corporate highlights for January 2023. Company earned 134.3 Bitcoin. That's a 3% increase compared to prior month. So still doing okay there. Treasury holdings of BTC and Ethereum were 970.6 BTC and 10,222.3 of Ethereum. Let's see here. The company had cash and cash equivalents of 228 million as of January 31st. The company did not purchase or sell any miners during the month, which is unfortunate. Would have liked to see them buy some miners because I think they are pretty cheap right now, especially per terahash unit if you're looking at it that way. Miner deployments, 34% of the company's Bitcoin mining fleet, or 13,065 Bitcoin miners representing 1.25 exahash, was actively hashing in North America as of January 31st, which is pretty much where they were at in December, I believe. There really wasn't any change here. So that's all we get from them. Let's take a look at what we got. So that was BitDigital. Let's take a look at them here. So BitDigital, 2 million shares outstanding. Stock prices of $1.35. Market cap 111 million right now. Current hash rate 1.2. I have it at 1.23, which is, what do they report? 1.25. Yeah, which is really close. 1.234. Future hash rate of about 2.8. They do have a lot of older miners. We'll see if those are even going to get plugged in or if they're going to take those out. They are about 44% operational right now. Hash rate percentage growth 126% if they get to this. But we'll take a look at the numbers that we do have on them. And BTC hodl of 970. That's about 22.5 million in value right there. Hodl to market cap is about 20.3%. Each share has 27 cents in it. And then you can see their BTC production has been pretty consistent, you could say. Even with the network hash rate going up, they've been pretty consistent nonetheless, up or down within, 9, 10 BTC roughly at the most, maybe 6, 7 BTC. But you can see here that July 142, August was 145, September 141, October 152, November 144, December 130, and then back up to 134 here in January. Their BTC per, should be BTC per exahash. Should have changed that. BTC per exahash is also pretty consistent here. 104, 112, 104, 105, and 107 for this month. So a little bit more efficient here in this month than in other months. And as far as the revenues for the month is concerned, it's about 2.7 million compared to 2.2 million in January. So that's a nice increase there as well. It does look like they sold about 110 BTC for net proceeds of 2.2 million for the month. And if we look at their numbers here, we can see here that we have them at 1.25. So I do have 1.25. Why is that not coming up the correct way? That's right. Oh, because I didn't go all the way over again. Yeah, see, I was sick for a couple days, and this is what happens. Let's do this down here. We'll get rid of these over here. Delete. Okay, 1.25. And this one over here as well. This is why I don't like getting sick, because then I'm lethargic. I don't want to do things. And when I do things, I don't do things as well as I should. Okay, now we're back to normal here on that. So in January, you can see here that we did add some of the older miners back in. That's the only way I could get it to work out, where they would make 2.719 million is what we have here. And they also reported they're at 1.25, so that's the only way I could get them to that number there. But as you can see here, it looks like they got rid of a lot of these older miners already here. So I wonder if I should be even counting these in their future hash rate if they are already just pretty much maxed out completely. Or, maybe if Bitcoin price goes up a little bit higher, they can possibly turn these back on, some of these 63 terahash miners. But these 19.7 terahash miners, yeah, those are not going to be getting turned on anytime soon. The 59, depending where Bitcoin goes, they could possibly turn those on as well. But Bitcoin would have to be probably closer to, I'm just guessing here, maybe 40, 45, 50,000 for them to be profitable on those right now. But we'll see. So ideally, I think they are pretty much right now. If we just add the numbers here that we do have for the higher terahash miners, they are pretty much right now fully installed if you don't ever plug these back in here. Okay, so that's kind of where we are at. As far as their revenue is concerned, for the increase for this month, it is a 23.45% increase from December, which is good. And then we'll probably get a decrease here in February because February has less days in it. Okay. Now, institutions, that did decrease a little bit here to 66, but shares increased to 10.2 million from 6.7 million, which was kind of nice to see. And then, excuse me, and percentage owned also increased to 12.45% from 8.24. And we got still 0 for a strong buy, 1 buy, 0 hold, 0 underperform, 0 sell, and a price target of $2 across the board here as it has been in the past. So with all the numbers that we do have here, like I said before, we're using the estimated number for Q4. And then we're in Q1 right now, so those are estimated numbers here. And then we're using the actual numbers for Q3 and Q2. That gets us to about 31 million in revenue. 50% net income from gross revenue, we're looking at $1.93 for them with a P of 10 because they're not growing that much. And they are at $1.35 right now, so they are pretty close to my expectations are. Now, given that Bitcoin can go up higher, they could easily get 15 PE on that, so it'd be $2.89 to $4.34. And if Bitcoin really does go up like a rocket, well, they could be up to $3.85 to $5.78 potentially, somewhere around there, if not higher. It just all depends where Bitcoin goes and where investors want to invest in them. So that is it for them. They're pretty much stuck at where they are right now, which is unfortunate because it would be nice to see them kind of grow a little bit. The good thing is that they don't have any debt here. If you look at their current ratio, debt to equity ratio is 0.04, really low. Current ratio is 19, so they're doing really well. We'll see what the numbers are for Q4, but I'm guessing they're going to be pretty close to that, as they have been in the past. So I have no worries with them going under anytime soon. It would be nice for them to use some of that cash position that they do have, along with some of the HODL, maybe to get newer miners and maybe work something out there. But that's it. So for them, it was just a nice update. They're actually holding steady, at least right now, which is good. And then I'd like to see growth. I think everybody would like to see a little bit more growth from them. They don't have any of their own facilities. I think they host all of their miners right now, and it's been working out for them so far. So we'll see how 2023 is going to shape up for them. Like I said, I need to see growth from them, and I think everybody else would like to see that as well. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, the spreadsheet is available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there for their continued support, and thank you so much for watching. You guys are great. Love all the comments that you guys have been posting. So I'll see you guys in the comments, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.